When it comes to making luxurious cars, the Bugattis are in a different league. This is the story of a boy from a family of designers and sculptors who just ends up becoming the maker of a car. Carlo Bugatti, who was an Italian Art Nouveau furniture and jewelry designer, married Teresa Lorioli in the year of 1875. Together they had 3 children, Ettore, Rembrandt, and Denise. Rembrandt, the younger son, went on to become a well-known animal sculptor. His elder brother, Ettore, in his early years, realized that he lacked his younger brother's skills, so he gave up on becoming a sculptor. Ettore Bugatti was born on September 15, 1881 in Milan, Italy. His father wanted him to follow the family tradition of an artistic profession. To please his father, Ettore studied sculpture at the Fine Art Academy in Bria. Sculptor Ettore realized early on in his studies that he had no interest in the artistic field. Ettore believes that there are 2 kinds of artists, one who's born artist like his brother Rembrandt, and another who are trying to become artists like him. After finishing school for a short time, Ettore went to the Accademia de Belle Arts de Bria to study sculpture. At that time, he already showed interest in engineering and a game called Pimp My Ride. At the young age of 14, Ettore made changes to a motor tricycle that he received as a gift. In 1898, when Ettore was just 17 years old, his father decided that he should get traditional artist training. So Ettore started an apprenticeship at Prinetti, a small company in Milan that built tricycles and quadratic cycles. While working at the company, Ettore built this first motorized tricycle, which called the Type 1. Ettore never went to engineering college, but his studies in art gave him a creative vision of looking at the world, and his supportive father did everything he could to help him fulfill his vision. With the help of money from Count Giuliani, Ettore made a second prototype called Type 2. It won a prize at the Milan Trade Fair in spring of 1901. Ettore's design also piqued the interest of Baron Adrian de Turckheim, who invited him to design automobiles at his Lorraine Dietrich car factory in Niederbronn. After the Franco-Prussian War, de Dietrich had 2 car factories in 2 different countries. Bugatti had moved to the Niederbronn plant, which was in Alsace, a region that had been part of Germany since 1871 and had just recently been given back to France. De Dietrich built his Type 3 and 4, Type 5, 6, and 7 from 1902 to 1904 under the moniker De Dietrich Licensed Bugatti. While working for De Dietrich, Ettore met Emil Mathis. They became friends before becoming business partners, leaving De Dietrich in 1904 to produce their automobiles under the name Mathis Hermes. This partnership lasted until 1906, when the partners parted ways and Bugatti established a research center in Ilkirch-Grafenstaden, now a suburb on the south side of Strasbourg. He created several prototypes while working closely with the Deutz Company in Cologne. Ettore was appointed production director at Deutz in 1907. He invented the Type 8 and Type 9 then. Bugatti built the Type 10 in his basement while working at Deutz. Ettore founded Automobiles e Bugatti in 1909 in Molsheim, then a German town in what is now France's Alsace region. Some of the most powerful, luxurious, and technologically advanced cars on the road at the time were made by this company. Early success in Grand Prix motor racing was due to great engineering. The first Monaco Grand Prix was won by a Bugatti. Bugatti designed the Type 19 Bebe, a small car for Peugeot, in 1913. By this time, Ettore's brother Rembrandt had a fruitful career at the Antwerp Zoo. But in 1914, things changed and tragedy happens. After the outbreak of World War I and the siege of Antwerp by the Germans, the zoo closed, due to which many of Rembrandt's beloved animals were slaughtered. Depressed and unable to see his work, Rembrandt killed himself in 1916. To honor his late brother, Ettore created one of his most finest cars, the Bugatti Royal. It was the longest and most luxurious car ever seen at the time, decorated with a bronze copy of one of Rembrandt's sculptures that made the famous rearing elephant. When World War I started, Ettore was sent away during the war, first to Milan and then to Paris. But as soon as hostilities ended, he returned to his factory in Molsheim. So Ettore was able to get a spot at the 15th Paris Motor Show in October 1919, less than 4 months after the official transfer of Alsace from Germany to France was made official by the Versailles Treaty. He displayed 3 light cars, all based on their pre-war counterparts and powered by the same overhead camshaft 4-cylinder 1368cc engine with 4 valves per cylinder. The smallest of the three was the Type 13 with a racing body built by Bugatti and a chassis with a 2000mm 78.7-inch wheelbase. The others were a Type 22 and a Type 23 with wheelbases of 2250mm and 2400mm respectively. After achieving great milestones initially, the company also did well early on in Grand Prix racing. In 1929, a Bugatti that was entered privately won the first ever Monaco Grand Prix. Bugatti race cars were extremely successful. The small Bugatti Type 10 swept the top 4 positions in its first race. The Bugatti Type 35 from 1924 is one of the most successful racing cars ever. The Type 35 was designed by Bugatti in collaboration with master engineer and racing driver Jean Chasson, who also drove it in the car's first Grand Prix in Lyon in 1924. In the 1930s, Ettore Bugatti worked on making a racer airplane. He wanted to beat the Germans in the Deutsche de la Meurthe prize. This is the Bugatti 100P, which was never flown. Instead, it was designed by Louis de Mong, a Belgian engineer who had previously used Bugatti Brescia engines in his Type 7.5 lifting body. In 1939, tragedy happens. Jean Bugatti, Ettore's son, died at the age of 30 while testing a tank-bodied race car near the Molsheim factory. Following that, the company's fortunes began to deteriorate. Also at that time, World War II started, the Molsheim factory was destroyed due to the war, and the company lost control of the property. Ettore stayed strong and planned a new factory in Levallois, Paris, and designed a new line of automobiles. Ettore Bugatti had produced 7,900 cars since he first founded his company. Ettore Bugatti, the famous car maker, died in 1947 at the age of 66. His death put an end to the Bugatti brand since his son Jean had died in 1939, leaving no one to carry the Bugatti name. In the 1950s, the company made its latest model before it was bought by a company that made airplane parts. The original Bugatti ceased operations in 1952 after a long decline. In 1987, an Italian entrepreneur resurrected it as a manufacturer of limited production exclusive sports cars. The Volkswagen Group now owns the company. This was the story of Ettore Bugatti, a man from an artistic background who became the manufacturer of the world's first racing car. From Ettore's story, we can learn that focusing on interests and building businesses around those interests is the key to a successful life. What are your learnings from Ettore Bugatti's story? Please share your insights in the comment section below. Please subscribe to Business Bio for more videos like this. Thanks for watching.